If you are looking at using DIFC Foundation in Dubai, you're probably wondering, can it actually be sued? Well, in this video, I'll break down what happens if someone tries to bring a case against a DIFC Foundation. We look at how legal protection work, what risk you should know about, and how these rules protect your assets from lawsuits or creditor claims. If you want to understand how strong these protections really are and what happens in real-world situation, you'll find everything in this video. Before we start, my name is Shiraz Baid and I'm the founder at Lepidus Wealth, where we help clients and families protect their assets using a range of tools including trust, foundations, wills, and offshore structures. So if you own a business or real estate, don't wait until a legal or health crisis to start thinking about protecting what you have built. Instead, request your free and customized asset protection plan by clicking the link below. You can then implement it step by step as your journey progresses. Let's start by understanding what it means for a foundation to be a legal entity in Dubai. A DIFC foundation is its own legal person, separate from its founder, its council, and its beneficiaries. This means if there is a lawsuit or a creditor claim, it's the foundation that's being targeted, not you personally. Your assets, once transferred to the foundation, are legally owned by the foundation itself. You are no longer the owner, which is the key to effective asset protection. Well, people sometimes believe that because a foundation is well protected, it is immune from all legal action. But that's not true. Under the DIFC law, a foundation can be sued, just like any other company or trust. It's subject to the legal system in Dubai. But the point is not whether it can be sued. The point is what actually happens when someone tries to sue a foundation. There are several unique protections that set DIFC foundations apart. First, there is the principle of legal separation. If someone sues the foundation, they can only claim against assets that are actually held by the foundation itself. Creditors of the founder or any beneficiaries cannot go after foundation assets because the law draws a clear line between the personal and foundation property. This ring fencing is the core reason many high net worth individuals move significant holdings into a Dubai foundation. It's a firewall against personal liability. Second is the Dubai courts, especially the DIFC court system. It takes a strict approach to respecting the independence of the foundation structure. Claims of sham or fraudulent transfer can only succeed if there is a very clear, deliberate misconduct. The law requires strong evidence before anyone can unwind a foundation or access its assets on behalf of an external creditor. And importantly, there is no automatic right for a foreign court judgment to be enforced against a Dubai foundation. Even if a judgment is granted elsewhere, it must pass through a Dubai legal process, which includes a fresh review of facts and legal compliance. You may be wondering about specific risks. For example, could a divorcing spouse, a business partner, or a government authority bring a case against the foundation? The answer depends on the origin of the claim. For commercial claims, such as failed contracts or disputes between partners, the claimant must show that the foundation itself is liable. They cannot simply pierce the will and treat the foundation's asset as if they still belong to you as the founder. For personal or family disputes, such as inheritance claims, Dubai's own succession law and the foundation charter are what guides the court's decisions. This is a major advantage compared to traditional common law trusts or offshore companies, where uncertainty can lead to expensive, drawn out battles. Government authorities are a separate category. If the foundation is suspected of money laundering, fraud, or any serious crimes, Dubai authorities can and will investigate. A DIFC foundation is not a protection for illegal activities. Compliance is non negotiable. However, as long as the structure is used for legitimate wealth planning, privacy, and succession, it is highly respected and difficult for third parties to attack. Real world examples make this clearer. Imagine a founder who moves family real estate, investment portfolio, and shares in a private company into a DIFC foundation. If that founder faces a personal lawsuit in another country, those assets are not automatically exposed. Creditors must take their claim to Dubai. face the local legal standards, and deal with the independent status of the foundation. In practice, this is a powerful deterrent. The same logic applies for regulatory actions. If a regulatory body in Europe or the US issues a judgment against an individual, that does not give them a shortcut to seize foundation assets in Dubai. The only way is through a Dubai legal process. And unlike some traditional offshore centers, the DIFC is a globally respected jurisdiction with clear legal procedures, not a secrecy haven. This ensures compliance for legitimate families and investors while maintaining defense against frivolous or opportunistic litigation. Of course, legal protections are never absolute. Foundations are not bulletproof. If the founder commits fraud, abuses the structure, or transfers assets to evade known creditors at last minute, the Dubai courts have the power to intervene. But when the foundation is set up correctly, with proper legal advice and a genuine purpose, these risks are very low. Another common question is about confidentiality. A DIFC maintains a private register for foundations, which means your name as a founder, beneficiary, or a council member does not appear in any public research. This privacy adds another layer of security, as it's difficult for potential litigants to even identify the foundation, let alone bring a case without strong grounds. If you are comparing this to other jurisdictions, say the Cayman Islands or the Cook Islands, it's important to note that Dubai does not rely on secrecy or simply blocking enforcement of foreign judgments. The DIFC is respected by global banks, regulators, and courts for its transparent, rule-based approach. This is exactly why global entrepreneurs, family offices, and investors are increasingly choosing Dubai over more traditional offshore havens. So, can a Dubai foundation be sued? The answer is yes, it can. But the question is far less about whether a lawsuit can be started and much more about whether it will succeed and whether your assets will remain protected in this process. Dubai's legal framework is built to ensure that if you follow the rules, your foundation can withstand most legal challenges without exposing you or your family to unnecessary risks. As I mentioned earlier, if you own a business or real estate, don't wait for legal or health crisis to start thinking about protecting your wealth. Many people think asset protection is only for ultra wealthy. But the reality is that some of these solutions cost as much as setting up a free zone company in Dubai. If you want to secure what you have built and ensure your legacy, you can request your free and customized asset protection plan by clicking the link in the description below. And if you're serious about building long-term financial security, you should really check out my next video right here.